So yesterday we have seen the encapsulation, and encapsulation is not applied. So what is the problem we have seen? So there is no control, and other people can give their own data for the other class. So that's not valid. How we can control that? So that control can be done with a encapsulation. Let's see, I'm going to add a control for that. So album class. So main album data they are giving wrongly. They are giving their own data because of all this public. Public, anybody can access that variables. They are giving their own data. They are assigning their own data for these variables. But I have to control this. So to control this, you have to make all this private, right? Variables, that's a encapsulation means I told you very clearly. You have to make variables as a private. And methods should be a public. Setter and getter methods you have to create. For every variable, one setter method, one getter method, you will get it. So let's make all this private. The variables I'm making private. These are all private variables. Again, how to create a setter and getters for this? There is an Eclipse feature is there. Automatically it will create the setters and getters. You select the variables and it will create. Otherwise, you can create manually. So I told you for every variable, one setter method, one getter method, you will get it. So let me write for this name and remaining I'll generate with Eclipse feature. Okay. So for this, I'm getting the setter method for the name variable. So I told you methods are public. So your method should be a public. Public, and I told you setter methods are void methods. So void methods. And the method name starts with a set keyword, and the variable name will add to the method. So that is name variable. And it is a parameterized method, string name. Same, the instance variable name and this parameter name should be same. Or you can give a different name also, it's fine. But you are going to assign this parameter, this instance variable. So because now, observe here, instance variable and parameter both are same. But if both are same, how do you know which one is instance variable, which one is a parameter? It's very difficult to identify, difficult to distinguish that. To make sure to distinguish them, the instance variable, you can refer the instance variable with this keyword. This is a reference variable to represent the current class objects. What is this? This is a reference variable. It represents the current class objects. Current class objects means current class instance variables, instance methods, and constructor. These are all comes under objects. So you want to refer current class instance variable, just write this dot name equal to, and you assign this local parameter. So that's a parameter on the right side. Now, see, now easily you can distinguish. Now, this one is a parameter, right side one, and this dot name is a instance variable. Now, that means you are copying this name to this instance variable. Is it clear now? That's this keyword. This keyword will use to represent the current class instance variables. So that's what the first use is of this keyword. And setter method is done for the new variable. Now I need to create a getter method. So getter method, I told you, getter methods are return type methods. So again, public. So what is the return type? What is the data type of this name? What is the data type of name?
Strings.
So the same data type it returns. The method also returns the same data type. And the method name starts with the get keyword and the get name method. And so return type method means return keyword you have to write, name. See, this will represent the blue color, means it is the instance variable. You are getting the instance variable value. Here, the data type is string data type value you will get with the getter method. That's how to generate setters and getters. You can write, otherwise, see, I'm going to generate now for the rest of the variables. Eclipse feature. Eclipse is providing a feature, it will generate automatically setters and getters. You don't need to struggle to write. So let me do that. With a select the variables, these three variables, I need to generate a setters and getters. So after selecting that, right click and source, and you have here generate getters and setters. So click on that, select all and generate that. Over. See, these are all generated, and so I'll just move this to top. Variables I will keep on the top, and methods will be on the bottom side. So this is the, so all the setters and see, set artist, get artist, set price, get price, set number of copies, get number of copies, set name, get name. But we are getting a problem in the price and number of copies, right? So they are giving their own values. So how you can control here? You build a logic in this setter method inside. How to, so because they are giving negative values, I should control that. How can I control that? If price is greater than 0, then assign this to this dot price equal to price. Else you assign this dot price to 0. So that, and you can make it a 0, so that they cannot give wrong data. So if it is not, so is no, is not greater than 0, it will come to else block, right? And this will assign the 0 value. Even if they give negative value also, it will be 0 will be assigned. Same way here also you control, because they are giving a negative numbers, negative quantity of copies they are giving, that you control it. So the number of copies, so they are giving the input, they are giving input, number of copies greater than 0, and then you say this one. Else, so the number of copies is going to be, so 0. That's it. So that even if they give negative values also, you can control. Like this is the logic you are building in the main class. If somebody calls, now the variables nobody will call. The variables nobody will call because they are private. So only they have to call the methods. If they want to set the artist value, you have to call this method. They want to set a price, they have to call this method. So if they want to set a value for the number of copies, they have to call this method. If they want to set a name, they have to call this method. So this is the setter, what variable you are using. So automatically when they call this method, they're going to give value, right? That value will go and assign to this instance variable. So this is how you can control the data by making, now this is a perfectly encapsulated class. Variables are private and methods are public. So through methods, you're setting the value for this instance variables, but not directly variables here. No, they are not allowing directly to call the variables. So yesterday we were directly calling, right? Now we stopped that by applying the encapsulated class. Now, see here you are getting errors, all the errors. You're getting errors. How can you give these values? So now you have to call setter method. So if I want to give my name value, set name. So name. So now parameter name. So this parameter, right? This parameter value I'm passing to my setter method. Same. Set artist. Set price. So price. You can set the price. price. So these are all the parameters. Why you are giving a parameter for this method? All these methods are parameterized methods and passing this parameter value for the method. So this parameter name you are giving here, and same for the number of copies also. Set number of copies. So number of copies. So this is how you can set the other class variables. You are not assigning a direct value to the variable. You are calling the setter methods and giving the value. See, I'm going to call this getter methods here. Get name. See, getter methods you are calling. If you want to values, you're using a getter methods. Get artist. So get price. Once you set, automatically you can get with the getter methods. Get price and get number of cards. It's so easy. This is the complete encapsulated. See, even if you set negative value, it won't affect. So because complete control be done here in the album class. So no issue at all if they give wrong data also. So this is how you can control everything. See, now 0.0 for price and 0. Before it was, so whatever the value they have provided, that was printing, right? But now once you apply the encapsulation, this is complete control came to here. Okay, so that's the encapsulation, how it will work out. So I'm giving exercise for you. Go and practice that. So the exercise is, so write a mobile class. In this mobile class, you take up the some parameters like mobile name, price, manufacturer, so then mobile operating system. These are the parameters you take and you give setters and getters, and so do the same thing. Okay, so that's the how build the logic and call in other classes also, only through methods only. Not see how I call the variables. Through methods only I'm calling. I'm setting the value. Whenever I call this method, I'm giving a value for all these parameters. So that's what I am doing here. See? So this is the value of alb object, and this is the name value I am setting, and this is the value I'm setting, and the values I'm setting. These values will go and store for that album object instance variable. Okay, this is the all about encapsulation. So I'm just stopping. So I'll move on to the next